Okay, you're like an object, but you're also a living thing.
Am I a woman?
Taking a look at 1 inch, been trading quite nicely in this channel that I said it would do. You'll see that I said in this channel this is the bottom. It went slightly lower than I anticipated, but you can see it's ranging in this channel quite nicely. So for now it would be a good idea to just swing trade in this, i.e. sell up here, buy down here, sell up here, buy down here, and hopefully we catch be on the right side of a breakout. So yeah, 1 inch is just consolidating nicely after that dip over the weekend. So we just zoom out we're going to look at the 4-hourly time frame now. Yeah, so you can see that we're being supported by the EMA nicely. We bounced off the bottom there. I did say to you the last time we bounced off the bottom down here, we went up. So from this bottom to this top, we went up like 92, 93%. So that potentially could be what's playing out already. We could have bottomed out in this downtrend, bottom there. We could be looking at a 90% upswing. It gives us like an $8 plus 1 inch token. So that's 1 inch. It is holding up quite nicely. I did notice on Reddit there's a guy that's a bit worried because he bought in at 550, 60,000 of them. All I can say, mate, is hold tight. It will come again. Because at the moment we're only, what are we down from all-time high? Currently trading only 20% down. That's nothing. You know, you can make 20% up in a day when it just goes. So obviously the market's a bit indecisive because of the ETH futures, but yeah, I'm still super bullish on 1 inch. If you look, it looks like it's bottomed out and it's reversed now and it's on its way. So potentially something like this over the next couple of days for 1 inch and shoot up to this sort of area. So that's cool. Just a bit of consolidation, a bit of a retest of the EMA, and off we go. So that's 1 inch. So I'm just going to jump onto Bitcoin. Yeah, so just looking at Bitcoin, we did say that it would come down in this sort of area, and it's bouncing off the EMA again. Notice that Moon pointed out this cup and handle formation, and there's the handle, and then obviously it broke out. But as you can see at the minute, it's testing on the top of the cup line, so it's trading along there. So this cup and handle could still basically be playing out, because obviously there's the cup, there's the top of the cup. So at the moment, as you can see, that the top of the cup is forming some kind of support. So yeah, that is still potentially what could play out for Bitcoin. It could still play out as a cup and handle and then shoot up to this price target of 40, 45, 44 and a half K. So that's still on the cards for Bitcoin. But in the meanwhile, we switch to the hourly. So Bitcoin, it could potentially keep doing something like this until it decides what it wants to do. If it breaks down, obviously keep an eye on this area down here. If it loses that and falls back into the wedge, then that is really bad news for Bitcoin, because you've got a potential drop down into the high 20s, and we don't want that. We want Bitcoin's continuation, which I think it is. I'm sort of 90% sure that Bitcoin will just continue to consolidate, and then it'll be off to the races again. They're going to take a look at Link. You can see with Chainlink that it actually lost. It fell out of this channel yesterday. At the minute, it's just hanging on by a small thread. If I drop the EMAs out, you see it's just bouncing off this. It actually lost the support there yesterday, but it immediately got bought back up, which is a good sign for Chainlink. But it's not looking too great at the moment for Chainlink. It could potentially drop out of this. If it did drop out of this, so if Chainlink did drop out of this channel here, the next key level of support, obviously where we've marked, so it could potentially do something like this, fall out of the channel, test this support. But then the next area of support for Chainlink is this level right here. As you can see, there's been a lot, and that is the $23 level, and there's been a lot of support and resistance. There was a lot of fighting going on in that range. So again, if we was to drop down to that level, I would expect to bounce back into the channel for Chainlink. So keep an eye on that one, guys. If it falls out of this channel, be looking for support at 23.85. If it was to drop below that, the next level of support is around about $23. After that, if Chainlink drops out of that, then we're all the way down here at 21.74. But I would expect some kind of fight to go on to keep Chainlink in the bullish pattern that it's still forming. So we'll just take a look at RSR, because I've not covered RSR for a while. So if you remember, like mid-February, I did say that RSR had formed a triple bottom, and it had bottomed. It was a local bottom, and it would be off to the races for RSR. Well, it did pan out for RSR. It made a gain from the local bottom here. It went up almost 51%. I did almost expect it to hit this top again, and I still think it will. I still think that RSR will test its previous all-time high sometime this month. So RSR, as you can see, is trading really nicely. I would expect something like this for RSR over the next few days if Bitcoin and Ethereum behaves. So like I said to you, there's a lot of indecisiveness over Ethereum with the ETH futures. I think we'll get that out of the way today, and then the bull market will just be in a continuation pattern. I'm going to take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum on the daily, we did say that, you know, it's healthy for in an uptrend or any trend, whether it's a downtrend or an uptrend. You know, it tests the EMA as support. So you can see the 20 EMA on the daily, which is the nicest EMA that I like to keep an eye on. You can see that Ethereum almost come down and touched it, so it could still potentially come down and test it. A nice healthy retest of the EMA, and then away we go. So potentially you could be looking at more downtrend for Ethereum over the next day or so, but that's again dependent on ETH futures. If we switch to a smaller time frame, so you can see on the 4 hour we dipped just below, like we have done down here. We dipped just below, and now we're just breaking just above it. So keep an eye on this EMA, currently trading at 1621. So that's at the moment acting as support. So hopefully we can get a nice bounce off this EMA today after all this crap with the ETH futures, and then we're off to the races. So I'm just going to take a look at Twitter. So I seen something interesting yesterday on Twitter. Basically, Box Theorem, Robert P. Walden, elite chartist. The Fibonacci time zones 3 and 4 perfectly make the second phase square. Time zones 4 and 5 will make the phase 3 square. So effectively, since its, well, kind of inception down in 2012, Bitcoin has just been following a trend, and that's that trend there. And then we're into a new paradigm now, where we entered it late 2017 into 18. Obviously, seen the correction there. And I think this chart's actually a little bit dated, is it? I'm not sure. I think it might be. So anyway, looking at this chart here, you can see that the price target is up here at 244. The price target up here is $24,470,022 per Bitcoin by the 1st of September 2027. So that is basically 6.5 years from this point. You're looking at a $24 million Bitcoin. That's something to have a look at, guys. It's quite exciting. So a cool fact is that a billionaire with a net worth of 13 billion, Ricardo B. Salinas, invested 10% of his liquid portfolio into BTC. He added BTC to his Twitter bio. So that's a lot of BTC. I think more and more billionaires are getting into Bitcoin. I think the current count is around about 40 billionaires are declared that they're into Bitcoin. So there's 2,825 billionaires in the world. And I think it currently stands as 40 billionaires have declared that they're into Bitcoin. So obviously that number's going to increase. Think about each billionaire wanting one Bitcoin. Okay, each billionaire wants a minimum of one Bitcoin. So as a human being, each human wants one of one thing. They want a round whole number, and that would become even more difficult in time because there's only a finite supply of Bitcoin. Currently, they say there's 21 million when it's finished mining, but a lot of Bitcoins have been lost. So to put the average number of available Bitcoin when it's finished mining and that no more Bitcoins can be created, around about 16 million in circulation. So that makes it a bit of a scarce asset, and they're all scrapping for one. So they're paying a premium price. That's why if you can get in the Bitcoin Millionaires Club, it's an elite club of just owning one Bitcoin. If you can achieve that in your life and never sell it, just lock it away, forget about it, then you're in an elite club which only the elite of the elite could ever be in, and that makes you an elitist. Jumping back into 1inch, because I'm super bullish on 1inch. I think it's going to have a breakout anytime soon. So as soon as Ethereum sorts itself out, I think 1inch will just continue this uptrend that it's in, and I think that we will be testing $7 quite soon, and then after that, obviously, who knows, to the moon. So yeah, keep holding, guys, and good luck to the guy that's got 60,000 of them at 550, because I think you're onto a good thing, mate. So just heading over to CoinsKid to look at the charts. Going to look at today's moonshots. We've got a couple of new moonshots that have dropped in. You've got this one, MP3, currently trading at 10 cents. It's gone up 30% in the last hour, 107% in the last day. 3.27 volume. Should we have a look where we can buy it? So it's currently trading on Uniswap. And then just looking through, you see that everything in the moonshots is up in the last hour. That's got no trading information. Bunny token. People are just jumping on the Doge hype. Dogecoin. That's the moonshot section. Let's have a look at the hot section. So heading over to the hot section, you can see that Morpheus Networks dropped in again. That was hot last week. It's hot again this week. Lit's still in there, even though it's dipping. Obviously Doge is flying because of Elon pump. That's actually not doing too bad. It's consolidating quite nicely. So I would expect more upside on Doge, to be honest with you, because Elon's not going to stop shilling it. So look for the dips on Doge. Option room's looking quite nice. Gone up 4%, almost 4% in the last hour. Yeah, Trust Swap. That's not doing too bad. Market cap of 75 million. Volume is picking up a little bit. Let's take a look at Trust Swap, where we can get it. So it's on quite a few exchanges already. The majority of the volume is on Uniswap again. So Trust Swap, we'll have to find out what that does. That'll be another video for another day, guys. See what Trust Swap does. And take a look at Polkastarter. It's consolidating quite nicely. It's gone down 10% in the last day, but I would expect more upside. As you can see, it goes up, consolidates, goes up, consolidates, goes up. So try and take a look at Polkastarter, guys. It's trading on quite a few exchanges already. The volume's picking up quite nicely. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Please smash that like button, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.